A Verdikta Arbiter is an independent AI-powered node that helps review requests and shape the network's final decision. Running one strengthens decentralization and gives you the opportunity to earn rewards for honest, on-time responses. To run an Arbiter, you'll need to have a Web3 wallet, such as MetaMask, available, a VPS with at least 8 GB of RAM running Ubuntu 2004 or above, various API keys, a small amount of ETH on base for gas fees, and 100 VDKA tokens. We'll go through these requirements as we progress through the install. In this example, we're using a MetaMask wallet, which was installed as a browser extension. To install it, just go to metamask.io and follow the instructions. Once the extension is installed, you should see a small icon in your plugin bar that will launch the wallet. You'll want to purchase a small amount of ETH on the base network. This can be done directly through the MetaMask app, or it can be purchased elsewhere and sent to your MetaMask wallet. Just make sure you obtain ETH on the base network. 0.005 ETH, or around $10 worth, should be more than enough to fund each arbiter. If you want to first run an arbiter on testnet, you can obtain the ETH for free using a base Apolia faucet. There are several good options for VPS hosters. Both DigitalOcean and Contabo have good cost-effective options. Now that we have a wallet with some ETH and a VPS running Ubuntu, let's go ahead and get started with the install. We'll still need to obtain a few additional items, but we'll cover those when we get to that step in the installation. The Verdikta installation guide, which you can get to from the website, gives instructions on cloning the Verdikta Arbiter repository and kicking off the installer from your VPS terminal. The install script will prompt you for various items along the way. The whole process should take about a half an hour. The first prompt will ask you for a target install directory. In most cases, you can just accept the default. Next, the installer will prompt you for keys to various LLM providers. Currently, the Arbiter supports native keys from OpenAI, Anthropic, xAI, and Hyperbolic, which runs premium open source models. If you have accounts with one of these providers, you can use the native keys. If you don't, the Arbiter will use an OpenRouter key as a fallback. OpenRouter unifies over 300 models into a single API call and is pay-as-you-go, meaning there is no monthly fee. The service adds a small 5.5% markup, so you'll save a bit using native keys if you have them. Which models your Arbiter needs access to will depend on which class IDs you decide to support. Each Arbiter can support up to 5 class IDs. As of today, most applications are using class ID 128 and class ID 131, but we anticipate the list of class IDs to increase in the future. For security, keys are not displayed in the console when you enter them. After you hit return, the installer will confirm that a key has been entered. Next, the installer will ask you for a Pinata JWT key. This is used by the Arbiter to pin AI justifications using IPFS, a decentralized file storage facility. Pinata has a free tier which should suffice for most Arbiters. Once you sign up for an account, you'll need to create a new key, give it file write permission, and copy the JWT secret access token and paste it into the installer. After this, you'll be asked if you want to run the arbiters on base or the base Apolia testnet. Then it will ask you to enter one or more RPC endpoints for processing blockchain transactions. You can use any RPC endpoints you wish. They're available from several different providers. Infura is a popular choice and well-tested, but there are many other providers at various price points, including Chainstack, Alchemy, DRPC, and others. There are free tiers with most providers, but rate limiting will impact performance, so we recommend going with a paid tier. Once you have created an account, you'll need to obtain both HTTPS and WebSocket endpoints. The Arbiter installer allows you to provide a list of RPC endpoints, so it will have alternative options in the event that one endpoint goes down or gets rate limited. You'll want to select base and base Sepolia endpoints if you plan on running testnet as well. Make sure to cut and paste the full endpoints for both HTTPS and WS and paste them into the installer. If you have more than one, then list each with a semicolon between them. Next, you'll be asked for your primary wallet private key. For MetaMask, you can find your private key through the account details. The key should be the same for base and base Sepolia, so it doesn't matter which one you copy. The private key will not be displayed in the installer when you paste it for security reasons. Be very careful to safeguard your private key, as anyone with access to it has access to your wallet. When prompted for the version of the Verdikta Common library to use, just click through to select the default latest. Then choose a justification model. This model summarizes the results from the AI panel, but does not need to do any significant reasoning, so a fast, small model should be fine. The installer will continue for a few minutes until you get to a prompt for a Chainlink node login. It will ask you for an email address for your login username. A password will automatically be generated for you for security reasons. You'll only need this information if you'd like to monitor the Chainlink node via the Chainlink UI. Next, you'll be prompted for the number of arbiters you'd like to run. You can run up to 10 on one Chainlink node, but you'll need to have sufficient Verdikta tokens for this. Each requires 100 VDKA. When prompted for the host IP address, the installer should be able to determine this automatically, so typically you can just hit return to select the default. Next, we need to register our arbiters with a dispatcher or aggregator contract. You can find the published aggregator contracts under the Analytics tab of the Verdikta Bounties page, which is at bounties.verdikta.org/analytics. For testnet, the URL is bounties-testnet.verdikta.org/analytics. When registering your arbiters, you'll also need to decide which class IDs you would like to support. It's often useful to select an additional unique ID outside of the list of supported AI panels, as you can use this to test queries directly to your arbiters from one of the client applications. For logging level, it's fine to just choose the default. The final step is to fund your arbiters so they have sufficient ETH to pay gas fees. It's recommended to just choose the defaults for this step. The installation is now complete. You'll be asked if you'd like to start the arbiter. It sometimes takes a few minutes for the startup process to complete, so to ensure it's operational, give it a few minutes, then run the arbiter status script in the target install directory. If you chose the default settings, this will be in ~verdikta-arbiter-node. Congratulations! You are now running a Verdikta Arbiter node.